For everyone who's just arrived, today is a really special day. It's the day that Mevlana Jalaluddin Rumi passed away 700 years ago. And he's a real icon in Sufism, which is not a religion, but it is housed in religion. So Sufism stems from ages and ages and ages ago, before religion was something that existed. And it's a set of practices that includes fasting, chanting of mantra, breath work, whirling, dancing, music, poetry. The music is an ancient alchemical science that is designed to heal the body on every level and open the heart to the divine. And at the time these practices were happening, people wandered across Asia, the Middle East, sharing practices with each other. And it was called to meet face to face, to meet another. So to meet face to face, then I'm going to share my truth and my practices and the indwelling of the divine, of God, of love in me, with the divine dwelling in you, and let's see where we meet. And so all the practices were intermingling. Then humanity underwent this change, and we had religions develop, and Sufism during that period, it wasn't called Sufism yet, it became encased in the religion of Islam. And in the religion of Islam, it developed the name of Sufism. And if you can just imagine this period before classification and boxes and you're different than me, that these people who were so God crazy and every minute of their day doing some practice to unite with God, found a very useful set of precepts and tools within the developing religion of Islam. And that's what they say, that Sufism became wine within Islam because of the transmission that Muhammad brought. Blessings be upon him. And in Sufism, all of the prophets are recognized. Isa is the name for Jesus. And you have Moses, you have Buddha, all of the prophets are recognized. And they hold the truth that the prophets, many of them, we know their names, but there's so many more. They're all in the dome of the sky, holding open the gates to heaven. Whatever heaven is that you want to call it, enlightenment, union, divine union. And they have agreed to hold these gates open. And when they make that agreement in their soul, it's determined how many thousands or millions or billions of people will pass through their gate. So there is no separation. All of these men and women, masters, they're all friends. They're all holding these gates open together. And whatever the calling of your heart is, that's the gate that you go through. And so this is the truth of Sufism. And the practices are designed to just open that gateway in the heart. So there are many ways to transform, but the first and most important step is to just crack open the seed of the heart. And this film that we're about to see tonight is the story of a prince who found that heart seed cracking open, and his journey and his discovery of the Sufi path. And as a practicing Sufi myself, I just find this particular film to be like an actual representation of what it feels like. So I'm really happy to share it with you on this day that Rumi passed away. Rumi was a very, very iconic Sufi from the 13th century in the region of Anatolia, Turkey. And he had a background in the family who were Islamic scholars, and then he had a transformation himself where all of his knowledge began to be on fire. His heart seed cracked open. And then he began to break all the rules. He began whirling in the marketplace and everywhere, and people started gathering around him. And over time, the deep symbolism that he lived in his whirling became codified in this ceremony where they wear the white gowns and the tall hats and they spin around. Spin around like this. Yeah. So that's the Mevlevi order of Sufis, when they wear the white and the tall hats. What we'll see in the film tonight are more of the Kalandari or wandering Sufis who wander the desert. And so there's so many varieties of Sufism. In India we have Qawwali Sufism, and they're quite wild in a different way. The Sufism here in the UK is quite intellectual. Makes a lot of sense. So it's a path of ecstasy and tears, a path of longing and coming home at the same time. And I thought that after the film we could maybe share a little bit of the Sufi chanting together, if you're up for it, so that you can actually have a taste of what that feels like. That's enough. Yeah.
Thank you, Hannah.
Thank you.
Yay! Bring all